Princess Lyrelai of the Valdrian Empire stood at the observation deck of her flagship, watching the small human vessel approach through the void of space. The ship looked insignificant compared to her massive dreadnought, yet something about its deliberate course made her elongated ears twitch with curiosity. Her pale blue skin shimmered under the artificial lights as she adjusted her ceremonial robes, preparing for what she expected to be another routine surrender negotiation. The Valdrians had conquered 17 systems in the past cycle, each species offering tribute or begging for mercy when faced with their superior technology. Humans, she had been told, were a young species barely capable of faster-than-light travel. Their homeworld had been discovered only recently, and the Empire's scouts reported a primitive civilization that should pose no threat. "Your Highness," her aide, Commander Kellen, announced, "the human envoy requests permission to board." "Grant it," Lyrelai replied, her voice carrying the authority of countless generations of royal bloodline. "Let us see what pathetic offering they bring." The docking bay filled with the hiss of equalizing atmosphere as the human shuttle settled onto the deck. Lyrelai descended the ceremonial steps, flanked by her elite guards, their energy weapons gleaming. She expected to see a trembling delegation carrying chests of precious metals or data cores containing their technological secrets. Instead, a single figure emerged from the shuttle. The human woman walked with unhurried steps across the polished floor, her plain gray uniform a stark contrast to the ornate Valdrian architecture surrounding her. She carried no weapons, no gifts, no apparent technology of any kind. Her brown hair was pulled back in a simple style, and her green eyes surveyed the assembled Valdrians with what could only be described as mild interest. "I am Ambassador Rebecca Thompson of Earth," the human said, stopping a respectful distance from the princess. Her voice carried no trace of fear or awe. "Thank you for agreeing to this meeting." Lyrelai blinked slowly, her enhanced senses detecting no deception in the human's posture or tone. "You come before the Valdrian Empire empty-handed," she said, her voice echoing in the vast chamber. "Where is your tribute? Where are your offerings of submission?" Rebecca smiled, an expression that seemed genuine rather than nervous. "I bring something more valuable than material goods, Your Highness. I bring a proposal for mutual benefit." A ripple of surprised murmurs ran through the assembled Valdrian court. Lyrelai felt her ears flatten against her skull, a sign of confusion among her people. Mutual benefit. "You understand that your species stands before the might of an empire that spans dozens of star systems. Your vessels are primitive, your weapons crude. What could you possibly offer us?" "Time," Rebecca replied simply. The word hung in the air like a challenge. Lyrelai descended the remaining steps until she stood directly before the human envoy, her superior height allowing her to look down at the smaller being. Rebecca did not step back or lower her gaze. "Explain yourself," Lyrelai commanded. Rebecca clasped her hands behind her back, a gesture that somehow managed to appear both respectful and confident. "Your empire has been expanding rapidly, Princess Lyrelai. 17 new systems in one cycle represents significant growth, but it also represents significant strain on your resources and administration." Lyrelai's eyes narrowed. The human was remarkably well-informed. "Continue. Each conquered system requires garrison fleets, administrative oversight, and integration into your supply chains. Your military forces are stretched across an ever-widening territory. Meanwhile, species at the edges of your empire grow restless, and your core worlds must produce ever more resources to maintain control." The accuracy of Rebecca's assessment sent a chill through Lyrelai's spine. These observations matched classified intelligence reports that should have been impossible for a primitive species to obtain. "You speak of problems that do not concern humanity," Lyrelai said, though her voice had lost some of its imperious edge. Rebecca nodded. "True, except that humanity represents a solution rather than another burden. We propose an alternative to conquest that would benefit both our peoples." "Speak." "A mutual defense and trade agreement. Humanity offers our system as a voluntary ally rather than a conquered territory. We provide resource extraction capabilities, manufacturing support, and most importantly, We serve as a buffer zone between your empire and the unexplored regions beyond our space. Lyrelay studied the human's face carefully. Her people had evolved enhanced ability to read emotional states and detect deception, skills that had served them well in diplomacy and warfare. Yet Rebecca Thompson displayed no signs of duplicity or desperation. She spoke with the calm assurance of someone presenting a thoroughly considered business proposal. "And what do humans gain from this arrangement?" Lyrelay asked. "Protection, trade opportunities, and access to Valdrian technology that would advance our development by centuries. We become a partner rather than a subject, contributing to your empire's strength rather than draining it." Commander Kellen stepped forward. "Your Highness, this is unprecedented. No species has ever proposed such terms." Rebecca's smile widened slightly. "Perhaps that's because no species has ever been in humanity's particular situation. We're weak, enough that you could conquer us easily, but organized enough to be valuable allies. We're also positioned at the edge of unexplored space, making us an ideal forward outpost for future expansion." Lyrelay found herself genuinely intrigued despite her better judgment. The human's logic was sound, even elegant. A voluntary alliance would indeed provide many benefits while avoiding the costs of occupation and potential rebellion. "Your species presumes much," she said. "What makes you believe you have anything to offer the Valdrian Empire?" Rebecca reached into her uniform pocket, causing several guards to tense, but she produced only a small data pad. "If I may, Your Highness, I have some information that might interest you." Lyrelay gestured for her to proceed. "Humanity has been monitoring subspace communications across this region for the past 50 years. We've detected evidence of at least 3 hostile species beyond our borders, including one that appears to possess technology comparable to your own. Eventually, your expansion will bring you into contact with these civilizations." The princess felt her blood cool. Her empire's scouts had indeed detected signs of advanced civilizations in the unexplored regions, but their intelligence was limited. Having humanity as an established ally in this region would provide you with advance warning, staging grounds, and local support when those encounters occur, Rebecca continued. "The cost of our partnership would be far less than the expense of garrisoning conquered territory while facing external threats." Lyrelay realized that her initial assessment had been completely wrong. This was not a surrender negotiation or a desperate plea for mercy. The human envoy had come to offer a genuine strategic partnership based on careful analysis and mutual advantage. For the first time in her royal career, Princess Lyrelay found herself genuinely impressed by an alien species. The confidence radiating from this small human was not born of ignorance or desperation, but of intelligent preparation and clear-eyed assessment of the situation. "Ambassador Thompson," she said formally, "the Valdrian Empire will consider your proposal." Rebecca inclined her head respectfully. "That's all humanity asks, Your Highness. We believe you'll find the mathematics quite compelling." As the human envoy was escorted to guest quarters, Lyrelay remained on the docking bay floor, staring at the spot where Rebecca had stood. In all her years of conquest and diplomacy, she had never encountered a species that had so thoroughly surprised her. Perhaps, she thought, there was more to humanity than anyone had realized.